today's notes are primarily review. There is one thing we're going to add. But we are still in section 8.4, which is on factoring quadratics. We are asked to factor each quadratic trinomial. So in number 1, we have x squared plus 13x plus 30. So it is quadratic because the degree is 2. It is a trinomial because we have 3 terms, 1, 2, 3. If I have 1x squared, which I do, we want to find 2 numbers. They should multiply to 30 and add up to 13. Multiply to 30 and add up to 13. So the first numbers you might think of, maybe 6 times 5. 6 times 5 gives us 30. 6 plus 5 is not 13. You always want to check the subtraction also. 6 minus 5 gives us 1. We're trying to get 13. So when I add them, I don't get 13. If I subtract them, I don't get 13. So 6 and 5 do not work. Try something else. Maybe 10 and 3. 10 times 3 gives us 30. Add them gives us 13. So there's our numbers. 10 and 3. They need to multiply to positive 30. So they either need to both be positive or both be negative. To add up to 13, they should both be positive. So positive 10 and positive 3 are our numbers. So we can just jump right into our factors here. I've got x, it's positive 10, so x plus 10, and positive 3, therefore x plus 3. On this one, you might actually also think about 15 times 2. 15 times 2 is 30. 15 minus 2 does give us 13. So it looks like those might be our numbers. The problem is, in order to get 13, the only way to do it would be positive 15 and negative 2. And positive times negative doesn't give us positive 30, it gives us negative 30. So 15 and 2 actually don't work. 10 and 3 are the only numbers that will work there. Number 2, x squared minus 5x minus 14. X squared minus 5x minus 14. You need to think about numbers that multiply to 14, and we're trying to get negative 5. So multiplies to 14. There's only a couple of them, 14 times 1 or 7 times 2. 7 plus 2 is 9. 7 minus 2 gives me 5. So those are probably our numbers there, 7 and 2. We need to try to multiply to negative 14. So one number is positive and one number is negative. If they multiply to a negative, I've got one positive and one negative. Adds up to negative 5. So the bigger number needs to be the negative one. So negative 5 or negative 7 plus 2 does give us negative 5. Negative 7 times 2 does give us negative 14. So our factors are x minus 7 and x plus 2. Number 3, numbers that multiply to negative 42 and add up to negative 1. It's understood to be a negative 1 if there's not a number there. If it helps to fill in the 1, do so. Multiplies to 42. If you're struggling to come up with numbers that multiply to the given number, so in this case 42, calculator here, you can just start dividing. So right away we know 42 times 1. 42 times 1 is 42. 42 plus 1, 42 minus 1, neither one gives us 1. So if you're not sure about things that multiply to 42, just start dividing it. 42 divided by 2 gives us 21. So 21 times 2. Add them gives me 23. Subtract them gives me 19. I'm trying to get 1. Those don't work. Divide by 3. 14 times 3. Add them gives me 17. Subtract them gives me 11. So that's still nowhere close to 1. 42 divided by 4. Doesn't come out even, so that's not it. 42 divided by 5. Again, a decimal. Not right. 42 divided by 6. 6 times 7 gives us 42. So we've got 7 times 6. Adam gives me 13. 7 minus 6 gives me 1. So there's our numbers. They need to add up to -1. So the 7, the bigger number, needs to be negative. And there's our factors. X minus 7, x plus 6. Number 4, x squared minus 10x plus 24. X squared minus 10x plus 24. We need to come up with numbers that multiply to 24. Again, guess and check. We're trying to add them up to 10. Maybe you think about 8 times 3. Add them is 11. Subtract them is 5. Nope. Might take a couple guesses. We should eventually get down to 6 times 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. That's what I'm trying to get. They multiply to 24. Because they multiply to positive 24, either both numbers are positive or both numbers are negative. To add up to -10, I need -6 and -4. They're both negative. X minus 6 and x minus 4. Right now, I want you to pause the video and try these 4. Once most of the class has it, go ahead, push play, and I'll show you how to do them. Number 5, numbers that multiply to 8 and add up to 6. 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. So our factors are x plus 4 and x plus 2. Number 6, I need things that multiply to 8. Probably the most obvious one's 4 times 2. Problem is 4 plus 2 is only 6. 4 minus 2 is not 7 either. So 4 and 2 don't work. The only other thing that multiplies to 8 is 8 times 1. 8 minus 1 is 7, so there we go. They multiply to negative, so one positive number and one negative number, but should add up to positive 7. So the bigger number should be positive, the smaller number needs to be negative. Positive 8 and -1. You can always double check. Multiply them gives you -8. Add them gives you 7. Number 7, numbers that multiply to 16. We could go 8 times 2. Multiplies to negative, so one positive, one negative. Need to add up to -6, so the bigger number should be the negative one. X minus 8 and x plus 2. Number 8, numbers that multiply to 9 and add up to -6. Should be 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. It should add up to -6, so I need -3 and -3. X minus 3 and x minus 3. We've previously covered how to do problems like numbers 1 through 8 there. Numbers 9 and 10 are new. It asks us to factor each quadratic trinomial. And this one's different because I've got this 2 in front of the x squared. 2x squared plus 20x plus 48. If I have a 2 in front of the x squared, I cannot start trying to find numbers that multiply to 48 and add up to 20. Even if you find the numbers, your answer is not going to be correct. Instead, we need to first look for a common factor. Think about 2, 20, and 48. Is there anything I can divide all of those by? And the answer is yes, I can divide them all by 2. So I'm going to factor out a 2. So if I divide 2 by 2, I'm left with 1x squared. 20 divided by 2 is 10x. 48 divided by 2 is 24. And now we factor this the same way we did in numbers 1 through 8. Numbers that multiply to 24 and add up to 10. I think we actually had this earlier. 6 times 4. So x plus 6, x plus 4. And don't forget about this 2. That 2 we factored out needs to be part of your answer there. Let's try another one. Number 10, 5x squared minus 20x minus 25. 5, 20, and 25. I can divide those all by 5. I'm going to factor out a 5. And then finish factoring this trinomial. Numbers that multiply to 5. Well, the only thing is 5 times 1. 5 minus 1 does give me 4. I need to get negative 4. Bigger number needs to be negative. The 1 needs to be positive. X minus 5, x plus 1. You try these two, numbers 11 and 12. Again, pause the video, you try them. We'll regroup, go over them, and that will be it for today's notes. Number 11, we can take a 3 out of. Numbers that multiply to 15 and add up to 8, 5 times 3. Should multiply to positive 15, so either both numbers are positive or both numbers are negative. Adds up to negative 8, so they should both be negative. X minus 5, x minus 3, and we factored a 3 out earlier. And number 12, we're going to divide everything by 6. Numbers that multiply to 14, 7 times 2, 7 minus 2 is 5. Bigger numbers should be negative. Six times x minus 7 times x plus 2, sorry. Positive 2.